I don't want to focus on the non-call to start the show. Jenna, you mentioned it, but the fact of the matter is, prior to the non-call, the Bucs were about to go in to score to put the game away, and they fumbled near the goal line. So the better team won last night. But I want to focus on the two biggest winners, even though neither one of them are on the Bucs. The first is Dak Prescott. I'll get to him in a moment. The second is our Kevin Wildes, who I must say, and I must publicly apologize to, because Kevin Wildes not only was the only one to pick the Cowboys, and I know they lost, he also gave an exact score prediction that if Greg Zuerlein was able to make first half extra points or chip shot field goals, Wildes would have nailed the score exactly right. And loyal First Things First listeners, viewers know, Wildes said Dak Prescott's going to throw the ball 58 times. And I laughed at him, I think I called him an idiot.
Yep.
And he threw the ball 58 times. So, Wildes, you deserve massive credit.
Thank you, buddy.
And Dak Prescott deserves massive credit. I think that's the finest football game he's played since the Packers divisional round playoff game his rookie year. Now, he lost that game, too, on a final drive and a final field goal against an all-time great quarterback. But Dak Prescott, Broussard, under these conditions, against that defense, with his own coaching staff seemingly working against him, with massive drops early that killed drives, the fact that he came back and came back and came back, threw the ball damn near 60 times, and drove the Cowboys down for what could have been the game-winning field goal. If you're a Cowboys fan, I think you have to feel great. Not as good as you would if you had won, but Dak looks as good as he's ever looked. You went toe-to-toe with the favorites in your conference, and a call goes this way, a bounce goes that way. McCarthy goes for a touchdown instead of kicking a field goal. Maybe you're coming out of here 1-0. But most importantly, Broussard, Dak was marvelous. I think it's the best regular season game of his career.
Well, first of all, Nick, I can't believe I didn't get props at the beginning like Wildes and Dak either. I mean, didn't I sit on this show and guarantee a Buccaneers victory? Where's the love? Where's the love? So I was right about that.
Not giving it to you.
Jenna asked, which team and player, quarterback, were you most impressed with? No question, it was the Cowboys and Dak. I agree with everything you said, Nick, about Dak. And look, I believe, Nick, and you're right, Tampa Bay was marching and Godwin fumbled that ball, but that was a good hit. That wasn't just Godwin being sloppy. That was a nicely timed hit by the Cowboys to force that fumble. But Dallas outplayed the Buccaneers. They really did. I mean, they marched up and down the field. Tampa Bay's punter was tremendous because he was pinning the Cowboys in their own territory by the goal line time after time. And the Cowboys just continued to march up and down the field. They won the time of possession by almost 9 minutes. Dak playing without one of the best offensive linemen, Zach Martin, in the league, only gets sacked one time. Dallas looked great, and if it weren't for a 31-yard missed field goal and a missed extra point by a Pro Bowl kicker, maybe they win. I'll say maybe because, the circumstances of the game change and maybe Tampa Bay rallies. But the Cowboys were incredibly impressive. You have to give them big-time love. And I said it before, if you're a Cowboys fan and you play them close, you got to feel good about this. To Dak, for him to do this in his first, not game, not series, but snap since he broke his ankle against one of the best defenses in the league and obviously the defending champs in their building. I can't say enough about him. And I have to throw this out there. Dak Prescott, I've always been a fan of his. Okay, from day one, because I'm a big intangibles guy when it comes to quarterbacks. I think that's largely what makes Brady and Joe Montana the two best to ever do it are their intangibles, their leadership, their ability to galvanize the locker room, their smart decision-making, their character, so on and so forth. Well, I've always seen the same things in Dak, but I've always thought he was a game manager with big play capabilities. A game manager who could make big plays with his legs or with his arms when necessary. He's changed my mind. I wrote off all those big yardage games in the past because they were mostly in desperation situations, trying to rally and come back from a couple touchdowns down. Last night, he looked like a quarterback who could put a team on his back without a running game, which they didn't have last night, and carry you to victory, even though they lost. So Dak, in my mind, has now moved from game manager with playmaking abilities to an elite quarterback, and I couldn't have been more impressed, Wildes.
I agree. And Broussard, just for the record, you went 2-0 with your predictions. You said that the Cowboys had no chance, but if they played it close, it'd be a moral victory. So you were right on both accounts. So you didn't just get one thing right. The moral victory counts too. You got two things right. All right, I came out of this game, Nick, with a new slogan: don't doubt Dak. Everybody wants, there's a whole careers to be made from doubting Dak Prescott. Oh, he's going to get franchise tagged again. Dak's like, it'll work out. He signs a huge contract. He ends up getting hurt. He's like, I'll be back and better than ever. No, he's going to be rusty. He comes back better than ever. He played so well and with such confidence. Now I believe the Cowboys are going to the playoffs.
Well, listen, I certainly, you know who this morning's not good for? Folks who were thinking Washington could win that division. Folks who were like, oh, no, I'm telling you, that defense, Dak Prescott, if you put the best qualities of all the other quarterbacks in the NFC East into one human being, they're still not as good as Dak Prescott is right now. Now, that's a compliment to Dak. It also talks about the state of the quarterback situation in that division. Cowboys are going to the playoffs, I believe. I think they're going to win that division. But I also think you now have to look at it and say, if that is going to be a playoff matchup we get again, I think the Cowboys go into it saying, we know we can win. We absolutely, unequivocally know we can beat these guys. And I think that, and we'll talk more about this element later, Broussard, but you alluded to it. I think the fact that the Cowboys were able to do that in a game where I thought they were poorly coached, they had bad special teams, and got nothing from their running game speaks really well for their chances, particularly over, and Collinsworth made this point repeatedly on the broadcast, they don't play another really good team until Kansas City in Week 11. Their next 8 games set up so well for them to really get rolling. And so, yeah, I think that these are going to be 2 of your 7 NFC playoff teams. And I think if they have to play this game in that building again, which they might, I think Cowboys go into it feeling awesome.
Yeah, I'm like you, Nick. I picked them to win that division. And once you get in the tournament, you know, all bets are off. And there's no reason. I felt, you know, going into this game, Tampa Bay was the superior team in the conference. I still feel that way because they're going to improve. All right, maybe Wildes has been saying they'd have some type of Super Bowl hangover, maybe let down after the celebration before the game. And maybe there was an element of that. Even if there weren't, they're going to get better. But there's no reason the Cowboys shouldn't feel like we're as good as any. You look at the Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks, the Packers, the other teams, the other contenders in the NFC. You can't tell me Dallas can't play with those guys. So, yeah, you know, I think Brady brushed it off like, yeah, that's what all quarterbacks say to me. We'll see you later. Yeah, whatever. But I think Dak might be on to something.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.